I'm here with Kane Archer, the D3 Auto Sales MVP of the 2024 football season, and we're here to present the D3 Auto Sales MVP trophy today. Kane, I appreciate you joining me
Thanks, sir.
today, and glad to have you along.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And man, we're excited. We're excited about this. Tell us a little bit about your season this year.
Yeah. So basically, when we start every year, we'll start workouts in January, and then we'll start throwing in February, and then we'll have spring practice, starting about May, beginning of May, and then we'll jump right into summer practice. We have a thing called Fast Dog, so we'll go like a 3 or 4 week period, depending on the year. We'll go 3 or 4 week period, and it's like an off-season workout kind of program, I guess you could say. We do it every year, and that's like your final step to get to play on the team. So we start in August. We played our benefit game against Fayetteville. Ended up beating Fayetteville in our benefit game. Then we jumped right into Bentonville West. 3 straight 7A opponents. It was Bentonville West, Northside, and then Harbor. Went 3-0 there, and then we jumped into conference play with Shiloh, Russellville, Van Buren, Siloam, couple of the South Side. Jumped into that, and we ended up going, was it 13-0?
Yeah, 13-0.
13-0. Yep.
26 in a row.
26.
2 straight state championships.
Yep.
Looking out on that wall, man, out there in your practice facility, that's got to be a lot to live up to. 2005, or 2000,
Yep.
2005, 6, 7. What was it, 11, 12, 13?
Yep.
And then you had 17, 18. And then here you are now, 24, or 23 and 24, going for 25, another three-peat
Yep.
possibly.
Yep.
What's it like, man? I mean, this is obviously a place that has expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of them. And, I mean, your last head coach went to Missouri to be on staff up there. I mean, this is a different place here.
Yeah.
What's it like to be the quarterback of Greenwood?
It comes with a lot of responsibilities. You got to show up and you got to work every day. You got to make the people around you better. You got to show up. You can't show up some days and just be like, oh, I don't really want to practice today. It's like you got to be on it every day. You got to bring the guys around you because every day counts. We're expected to win. We're expected to work hard. We're expected to do all these things, and that's my job to make sure everybody's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're a junior, moved up as a freshman. I started hearing about Kane Archer as about an 8th grader.
Yeah.
What has that journey been like from, even the Pee Wee ranks what was it about you that started getting that attention so early?
Yeah, so I started playing with the Kansas City Outlaws when I was 10 or 11 years old, which is a national travel ball team out in Kansas City. And it was national ball, so the top players across the country you would join a travel team and you would play all across the country: Washington D.C., Florida, California, Vegas. We would travel all over the place, and I started playing against competition like Tyler Atkinson. He's out of Georgia. He's a 5-star. I played against all these guys that are high level names now that have prepared me to come back and play in Arkansas. You know what I mean? It started at a young age where I was playing at a high level of competition, and I feel like that's what started kind of my recruiting. I got my first offer in 7th grade, I think, first 3 in 7th grade, and that was a part of it. It was playing against the best guys in the best competition, and then coming back home and doing what I do.
And you 57 touchdowns this year, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
I mean, let me ask you this: do you remember those 2 interceptions?
I do. I remember both of them
Yeah.
very, very, very clear. Very clear. I threw. We called sticks on one play, and I just stared the dude down. That one was completely my fault. And in the state championship, the dude bailed out from DN, and I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" It's 3rd and 19, so it was either punt or that, anyways. But I really didn't want to throw it.
Those stick in your craw. You
Yeah.
had 57 touchdowns.
Yeah.
What was that? The 3rd best season in state history, I think. I mean, it's up there.
Yeah.
I wish I had my stuff together to tell you. I mean, it's high numbers there. 57. Believe it or not, the kid at Morrilton, Maddox Berry, actually threw 57.
Yep.
He threw 11 interceptions.
Yeah.
So still a great year,
Yeah.
obviously. But still, 57 touchdowns. That's really an unheard of number in Arkansas. Not to say it's never been done before, but it doesn't happen often.
Right.
What goes into that? Throwing 57 touchdowns in a year.
When you get your guys that are willing to work hard and play for you, and I mean, it starts with the O-line. I couldn't do anything without them, first of all. And when those guys when I know I can trust those guys, and those guys know if they mess up, I got their back. Like I think we had 3 sacks this season, and all 3 were my fault. I should have got out of them, but they know when they mess up, I got their back, and when I mess up, they got my back. It starts with them, but when we start throwing in February with the receivers, we're getting our timing down.
Right.
And then we start the spring ball, and then we start the summer ball, and we do 7-on-7s and team camps and all that stuff. Timing and calling those same plays over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they give me 3 different looks. I know that's where it's going on one look, that's where it's going on another look, and then so just the timing and where I know that they're going to be. I couldn't have done it without those guys, and just being accurate. So.
And you threw for 82% completion, which was one of the highest, if not the highest ever in the state. I mean, you had an incredible year. Last year, you were a semifinalist for this award. As a sophomore, you came up, you played a little bit as a freshman. Tell us about that progression from freshman to sophomore to now.
Yeah, so Coach Young brought me up my freshman year, and he was like, hey, I really want you to learn it. You're going to be our guy for the next 3 years. And I was like, oh, let's do it. I'm ready to learn it. And I ended up having to come in against Northside. I think it was our second game of the year. We played Stillwater and then Northside. And our starter went down at halftime, I believe. And I came in, and we were down 18. Or no, we were down 19 with a minute 30 left. And we ended up coming back off of Hail Mary. And one, that was my first time ever going in a high school game. And I was like, man, I really like this, And then we play PA in the regular season. Same thing happens. He goes down and he gets hurt, and I think we're tied at 23, and we ended the game. We won 33-23. So I've learned the playbook. That extra year, my freshman year, gave me a lot of learning. I learned a lot from the starting quarterback to Coach Young to Coach Hogan to all those guys. When you get a year to set, it's different than just throwing you in the fire. You get to learn things. You get to watch people do it. You get to watch them fail, and then once it's your turn. So my sophomore year. Had an outstanding running back, Braden Davis. Had outstanding receivers. Had Grant Carnes, L.J. Robbins, Peyton Presson. There's one more. And Isaiah. It was Isaiah. And we were so good as a unit from offensive line to running back to receiving core. We could do anything. And we ended up going 13-0 there. And then just fast forward to this season, we're just getting better and better and better and better. When you get years under your belt, it's like, you just keep improving,
It slows down.
Yeah.
It gets easier.
Yeah.
I mean, it just the looks you're more familiar with it.
Yep.
You obviously get a chance to watch film on other teams
Right.
as well, which I know you guys do here.
Oh yeah.
What's that process like?
Yeah, I mean, we're coming in here. We're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every game day. Well, actually, we start on Sunday. We'll play on Friday. Coaches be up here Saturday. We come up Sunday with them. We'll watch film for about 2 hours. And we come back the next morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning. We're watching film, and we're just preparing. They're giving us every look that we could possibly imagine, so that we're just prepared. And then we'll go out on the field and we'll practice, and we'll have a scout team that is giving us every look. So yeah.
Yeah, and then you're ready. You're
Yeah,
prepared.
absolutely.
And what would you be without that preparation?
I don't Johnny Manziel running around not knowing what the crap to do. Those guys get us prepared, and then they know what they're doing. Right. So yeah.
So Coach Young has been here for a while now. There was a transition, but there hasn't been a letdown. Why is that?
Because he has an expectation that he wants to be great. He holds us to a standard. He holds himself to a standard, first of all, that winning is the first priority. And if you're not going to work hard and you don't want to win, see ya. Like if you're gonna come in this program, you work hard, you give everything you got. Whether he says it almost every day. If you're a scout team guy, or if you're a varsity starter, or if you don't do anything at all, you're a part of this team as long as you come to work hard. So his standard's winning.
Mm-hmm. The calendar has already turned here. I mean, 2024 is over.
Mm-hmm.
You won the state championship. I mean, here it is right here beside me. What would it mean to you to be one of those quarterbacks that has been able to win that third championship here at Greenwood?
Yeah, just ending off my high school career right. My goal every year is to end the seniors' year off right. Send them out with a bang, and that's my goal for myself and for my classmates that I've grown up with all my life, is to go out with a bang and bring home three-peat. And I think that's the third time it's happened in school history, and I want to do it.
Right. No, there's not very many schools that have ever done it one time,
right.
And here you are now on the precipice of possibly doing it a third time. I mean, 6A competition is not anything to shake a stick at. I mean, there's some good players out there. There's some good teams out there. But it's something about this program right now that has got whatever that takes. I think you've covered a lot of that. Seems like you guys work hard, you prepare. Just talking to you, there's a maturity level here with you that may not be there with some of the other kids that are your age. So that's another big time thing I think for this program. Obviously, as a quarterback, you've got to be able to handle that pressure as being a quarterback, as you touched on.
Yeah. I mean, when I told you the other night we went and played Russellville, and these guys in the student section are just hammering me, and I'm like, just laugh it off, Like sometimes some people say things that like it's irrelevant, it doesn't matter, and some people get caught up in all that type of stuff, and I'm just like, don't let it bother you, let it fuel you, because that's what ultimately fuels me. Who was it? It was Lit Out Christian a couple years ago. We played here at home. And their student section went crazy after I threw a pick six, and we turned around and scored them like 6 straight possessions. And I was like, that's the type of things that fuel you. Don't let it get to you. That's the maturity part of playing the game. You make a mistake, there's always a next play. Go play it. So yeah.
Of course, as this season comes to an end in the 25 year, we're still a year away basically. But you're going to go on. I assume that you're probably ready to be a December graduate.
I am. Yep, I'm ready to grad. Yep.
So you're going to be a December graduate. You're going to go somewhere and play on. This is not going to be your final game, no matter what happens, whether you lose or win here at Greenwood. What is that feeling like? You're getting high level attention. What is it like to handle that pressure?
Same thing I said a minute ago. Like the things that don't matter, don't let them affect you. So like my thing is looking on it from the outside in is, if you don't perform on Friday nights, none of that stuff matters. So the stuff that you're doing during the week matters. Watching film, lifting weights, getting timing down with your guys. Because those are the things that ultimately matter. They get you ready for Friday night, which gets you the colleges to look at you. So I don't really think too much into it about, what offer am I going to get next? What college do I want to get next? It's not about that for me. It's about doing everything I can right now. And when the opportunity comes that's the place I want to go, I'm going to go. Yeah.
Well, you won several awards this year. Gatorade Player of the Year. I mean, all kinds of Players of the Year. I'm going to tell you, one of the things that impressed me was you reached out to us and you said, hey, I really, this is important to me. This is something that I would like to be a part of.
Yeah.
That we were going to include you anyway. But I felt that was a good thing. Now, I didn't give you the award. We actually voted on the award. And one of the things that I can say for sure, I mean, you had 7 out of the 8 first place votes. And I was shocked because, usually, I mean, our guys lean to small school guys. If there is a guy here that's a small school guy and a guy in a bigger school and they put up the same numbers, our guys lean toward that.
Yeah.
But my point of the whole of this is to say we have said now for 3 years giving away this award that the MVP will present himself to us. And it was pretty clear to me from probably from the time that Isaiah had his accident and how you guys come together.
For sure.
That was probably the time that I knew that Kane Archer was going to be our MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know. When things took a toll the wrong way, everybody just kind of looked at each other, and we had that fire in our eyes that it's time to go for Isaiah. Like, it's time to go play. It's time to do what he wanted to do, which is win another state championship. And we all kind of knew that. And I mean, obviously, we were absolutely devastated, and I still miss him to death, and I love him to death, and I wish he could have been here throwing yesterday with me for Arkansas State. Like I miss him sometimes, but you look back on the good things, and we want it for him. So that's what he wanted, and we all kind of had that same goal and mindset for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hard to overcome. Had to have been. I mean, just to have the life and the tragedy that it was just taken away so quickly. You're in the middle of the football season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was it like? How was it like to get you guys to pull together in that?
Yeah, when it happened that night and everybody just walked in the locker room, I think everybody was just like kind of shocked, and kind of finally set in, and we all just like we didn't want to believe it was true, And after we kind of accepted the fact that it had happened, we all just we bonded in a way that I've never seen before. When things like that happen, it's like you got to lean on the next person, or you don't got nobody. You know what I mean? Especially all of us being teenage kids. It's you don't expect something like that to happen to your best friend or your friend or your teammate like that, or your brother. Like it's hard. So we all had to lean on each other. We spent time with each other. We talked about the good things. I can remember it vividly. We were sitting in Coach Young's office with Coach Ellis, and we were just cracking up about Isaiah. Like all the good things. He was turning to be such a good man, and he had turned himself around. He was getting college offers. He was being more mature about things that he wouldn't have been more mature about his sophomore year. So it was hard. We all had to lean on each other, and we did exactly that, and that's why I think the end goal was the way it was.
Don't want to get too much into recruiting because this is really about the award in your season. But what you said you threw for Arkansas State.
Yeah.
What's your recruiting like right now?
Yeah, so there's probably 3 or 4 or 5 colleges coming a week right now that we're throwing for. I took about a month off just to give my arm just a little bit of rest, because I'm fixing to jump back into nine months of just straight throwing. So Oklahoma State's fixing to come down. Missouri came down a couple weeks ago. Arkansas State, UCF, USF.
Well, listen, man, I'm excited. I'm really appreciate again the fact that you showed interest in our award, number one, because you are. I mean, we feel like our award's a big deal. We do, but for somebody like you that's winning the Gatorade Player of the Year and all the other awards that you can possibly win here in the state of Arkansas, it's a big deal to us that you reached out. I want to talk real quick before we wrap this up and this officially becomes yours. About your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about your brother, Cash. I have been told he is a beast man, animal out there.
Yeah.
And I know that had to help shape you and the player you are.
Yeah, we grew up all the time, and this is kind of his perspective, but he grew up kind of living in my shadow, which it brought out a fire in him, because ever since I was at a young age, I played national level football, and I was pretty good. And he wasn't very good. And I would press him a little bit, and I was like, hey man, you got this, let's go work out today. Let's go do something today. And we'd play basketball against each other all the time, and it was just so competitive. And one day it just clicked for him, man. And it just clicked for him. And he was like, you know what? I believe in myself. I can do this. And ever since that day, he hasn't looked back. And he works out. That dude has the craziest motor I've ever seen in my entire life. Knowing he's on the defensive side of the ball, when I'm sitting on the sideline over there, I'm like, we're good. We're fine. He's going to go make a play. I think he finished with 42.5 sacks on his career, which is second in All-State in Arkansas. The dude can straight go, and I don't like living with him because I can't pick on him anymore. Right. He gets to pick on me, and I just got to sit there and kind of take it. He weighs 225 pounds, and I'm over here weighing about 205, and I'm like, I can't really do nothing.
Don't want that smoke.
Yeah, no, I don't want the smoke. So I love him to death, and he's going to UCA to play. I feel like, in my honest opinion, I may be biased, but I feel like he should have got more looks. We're in Arkansas, though. Yeah. That's how it goes. But he'll find his way. And he'll make a name for himself no matter what. And I believe in him.
All right.
Yep.
I think that's a good way to end on it.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Congratulations on winning the D3 Auto Sales.
Yes, sir.
MVP
I appreciate
award.
you.
We want to say thanks to D3 Auto Sales for making this a part of what we do here at the Arkansas Sports Network 3 years ago. We started this thing and really never knew where it was going, but here we are today, really getting bigger and bigger as it goes. And so we want to say we appreciate you, and we also appreciate D3. Stay tuned with us. We got all kinds of content coming out. We want to encourage you to be a member here on the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube. You just go to YouTube, and you can be a member where we can give you extra content throughout. We've got so much coming up, especially around state basketball tournament. I don't think you want to miss that. And, man, it's going to be a great off season for us as well, so a lot of content coming out. So, anyway, Kane, again, congratulations on winning the D3 Auto Sales MVP Award, and we are going to be looking forward to seeing what you do. Maybe you're the first repeat winner, and we're doing this again next year.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
All right. Kane Archer, our D3 Auto Sales MVP. We'll see you again soon.
Hey, do you want exclusive content just like this from the Arkansas Sports Network? Well, join the Arkansas Sports Network's YouTube community. Simply scan the QR code on the screen or go to youtube.com/@ARSportsNet and click the join button and unlock access to VIP content you won't find anywhere else.